Hello everybody, my name is Cul Blu and I'm bringing you guys your daily dose of random pubcast. This will be random pubcast number 25 and I'm back in the business. I'm so proud of myself because I actually did my homework, so I finished that. I actually got 100 on my test. I was so shocked about that. But anyway, at any rate, we're jumping into a random pubcast. Like I said, this will be a number 25. There was actually another number 25 that was before this. It was a really extremely good game. I'm going to be casting that as a replay. Viewer recommended replay, even though nobody really recommended it to me. Technically speaking, I can recommend my own replays if I really wanted to. So it'll be viewer recommended replay, recommended by yours truly, Cul Blu, and you guys will be able to see that awesome game. The reason why it is not random podcast number 25 is because somewhere towards the end of the game, I lagged out of the game and I missed the very last few minutes of the game, and it was so sad because I feel like I casted it so well. I feel like I was actually calling team fights and it felt so good. And then I was like, no, computer lags, and then I can't find the match anymore. But yeah, at any rate, using my super great sleuthing skills, basically just watching the video over and finding somebody's name and then looking them up, I was able to find the replay of that, so I do have that written down. I will be casting that either today or, well, probably not today because it's late at night. Probably tomorrow or probably next time. So you guys will probably have 2 videos tomorrow. Speaking of which, I do have quite a bit of homework starting to build up on me, so I will probably be uploading the next 2 videos pretty late, but it doesn't really matter because in the future you guys won't really care about all that. So we are jumping in, so let's go ahead and jump into the game. We are jumping into what looks like be an all pick, which would be pretty fun. I see a Drill Ranger picked already. Oh, another thing, Tusk, not Tuskar, but Tusk just came out. Tusk just came out today, I think. So like just a few hours ago, so we might be able to see him in a game. My fingers are crossed. Hopefully somebody does pick him because I really want to see him played. That'd be so freaking awesome to see him play so soon. I do not understand him just yet. I just know that Snowball is OP, and also his Warrior's Punch cannot be blocked, or cannot be dodged or blocked, which is crazy. So basically, it'll always do damage regardless of what you do. No matter if you build a Lincoln, no matter if you build a BKB, it's still going to hit you regardless of what you do. So we might. There's still room to see him because I think he's playing that. I think Tuskar does play the role of ganker, or person who roams around a lot and just goes for kills, or maybe jungler. I don't know. I really don't know how Tuskar will be playing. If we do see him, there's a small chance. It's like a small percentage chance that we will see him in this game. I'm just gonna keep on building up. Oh, it's a Treant. That's depressing. But anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and do introductions since I kind of forgot to do that. Since the diary side was up for a while and I didn't introduce them, I'm gonna go ahead and start with them first. Starting off with the Nature's Prophet, we have Heart something I can't pronounce on that Nature's Prophet. Moving on to the Undying, which is somebody you don't really see play too often. He usually gets banned almost every single time, so I haven't seen him in a long time. We have PKMF on that Undying. We also moving on to the Drill Ranger, we have Faith, F-A-Y-T-H, Faith on that Drill Ranger. Meanwhile, we got Tiny take a little bit of damage from Treants. Doesn't really matter. Moving on to mid, we have Emu on that Puck. And last but not least, we have Dropout on that Windrunner. So she was obviously a dropout in the archery school, apparently. Moving on to the side of the Radiant, we have Boner Own on that Anti-Mage. As far as the Centaur War Runner goes, we have Protein Bar, so he's pretty beefy. He's a protein bar. Moving on to Tiny, we have a Random on that Tiny, and last but not least, we have a solo top Necrolite who's playing Incognito mode. Incognito's playing that solo top Necrolite, and we had our first blood go down bottom. There was a tri-lane down bottom. Okay, there's a gank coming down bottom. I missed a Treant on the introductions. So he obviously came down for a quick gank. I'm not too sure if he picked up any invis or anything. No, I see no runes picked up. So that was just a flat out kill. Where was the rune to begin with? That's a big question. There is a rune bottom, region rune down bottom. Apparently Treant just came on down and said, hey, let's go ahead and kill this Windrunner, threw out the Leech Seed, and everybody else followed up with their attacks. So they were able to get a free kill. Meanwhile, we got Puck picking up a region rune. Very nice dodge by Puck. She was able to dodge that. She was able to dodge what's it called? It's called something. That Leech Seed from Treant for a little while to let her regen go back up and do the eternal jump, phase shift to pull it back into the side. Meanwhile, Puck really good with these dodges. Tiny trying to throw a creep at her so he can break that up, so he can break that clarity off of her. But Puck just disappears and goes away. Alright, as far as items go, let's take a look at the items because I'm very excited to see what Tiny has built. Wait, no, Tiny Random. Never mind, Tiny Random. I'm not too excited. At least he has 4 branches, that's all I'll say. I'll leave it at that. But I was going to say that Tiny did, in fact, go for those 3 branches and then 3 branches in a tango and then go straight for his bottle. I was saying that based on what he has. He has a bottle and 4 branches, which is still really good. So bottle costs 600, branches cost, all those branches cost about 200, so that was all the gold he got from randoming. Speaking of which, they have no courier on the side of the Radiant. I'm not sure if that was on purpose or anything, but they do need a courier sometime soon. Speaking of couriers, I did see a Roshan courier. Yep, it's a Roshan courier on the side of the Dire, so they have a pretty cool courier. Meanwhile, Tiny's coming around the corner. He's trying to farm. He has 2 last hits. He has one. There's one, and he missed the other. Speaking of last hits, I need to bring up last hits at 9. Nature's Prophet comes in. He sees the Tiny be a little bit too aggressive. He has a Sprout. No, he doesn't have a Sprout, but Tiny's trying to run for his life. He ran out of regen, and he goes down. So I guess I'll go ahead and bring up this old kettle of worms that I keep complaining about throughout almost all of my casts. Regen is important. Regen is probably one of the single most important things in the game next to, well, of course, next to gold and next to stats. Somewhere along the lines of gold and stats, regen is up there. So regen is one of the top 3 things in the game. Also teamwork's up there too, but that's like number 4, not really. But anyway, hold on. I'll put that on pause. We see Tiny getting a kill on top of the Puck. Puck is being a little bit too far. She was low. She does not have any regen on her persons at all. So she did go down. Actually, Courier was bringing her bottle. I'm assuming, yeah, Courier's bottle crow, and they need to upgrade that to a flying courier so she can actually survive. But yes, before I go into my talk about regen, we got a little bit of engagement going on top. We got Necrolite throwing out the Q, throwing out the Death Pulse and trying to damage everybody. Jorman's taking a lot of damage from that pulse, but there's a Soul Rip from Undying, and there's a little bit of lag on my part. Salve activated by somebody, but it didn't go all the way through. Jorman's just very low, so is Necrolite. Necrolite could potentially get it. No, he's going to pop his own Salve. Nature's Prophet TP's top, and I'm getting so much like Death Pulse shot out, not enough. He's going to try to go on top of Jorman's, but it's not. He can't do enough damage. The TP support coming in from Nature's Prophet definitely helping out. Meanwhile, mid, we got an engagement on a river. We got Tiny chasing away a Puck. I'm trying to see who got the rune. Nobody got the rune. The rune was bottom. It's a haste rune, so whoever gets that first will be happy. And it looks like Puck will most definitely be the first one to go there. So Tiny's going to resume his time farming. He really does need to get that bottle with more charges. A little bit of engagement going on top. We got Jorange, which has a lot of damage taken off on her so far. There's a tombstone from Undying, so these guys probably don't want to go on this, to be honest. The tombstone does get taken out a little prematurely, so they're pretty much a little safe. But Jorange is able to get away alive, so Undying did his job. The tombstone did not... excuse me. That was a weird clearing throat. The tombstone didn't necessarily have to last all that long. Just long enough for Joy to get away, really. That was like a hiccup in a clear throat. That was pretty weird. Anyway, Windrunner's hanging out down bottom. She's taking a few auto attacks from Anti-Mage from Centaur. Having a nice day. Meanwhile, Undying, he doesn't have, or he will have his tombstone up in 17 seconds. And he also has his Q, so he can be a little bit tanky. The reason why you see Undying banned a lot is mainly because of his early game. His early game is so freaking strong, it's not even funny. Put that on pause though. We got Windrunner taking a lot of damage from the Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage will begin the kill, but he will be losing his life in return. His blink was back up in a few seconds. Oh, never mind. It's only level 1 blink, so it would not have been up fast enough. Not even close to fast enough. But anyway, Undying has a super strong early game. Basically, between his Decay and a Soul Rip, he can pretty much nuke down anybody and everybody. And oh my gosh, more lag. Come on, don't have a repeat. Don't have a repeat. Fingers crossed, people. I'm going to take a sip of my tea while I wait. That was a short-lived sip. But yeah, like I was saying, Undying, basically 1 point in Decay, maybe 2 points in Soul Rip, and somebody to help with the slows, which Jorman's is perfect for. They can basically get a kill anytime they want. Throwing Tombstone into the team, or throwing his team fight potential with Tombstone, you have a very big issue when you're fighting against him, especially if he's able to build those big items, build all that magic resistance, build all that armor. Meanwhile, I got Windrunner. She's in a lot of damage. Her Windrunner was already used. Centaur does get, no, he does not get shackled up. He's able to make it out alive, but the creeps are doing so much damage, and there's Trian very good on map awareness, throwing out the, oh my gosh, Puck coming from the middle of nowhere, throwing the sounds on top of everybody. Treant teleports bottom because he sees trouble, and there's a shackle throw on top of anti-mage that does not latch on anything. Meanwhile, Puck has her haste room. She's running around in circles.
Thank you.
So Puck did have a haste room. That's how she came in, and I did not expect that at all. I need to pay attention to my minimap. Let me go ahead and take a look at the items real quick while I have a little bit of downtime before Puck does a little bit of action on, or does a little bit something on top of this Tiny. Tiny has himself mana boots. He does also have, or that's really all he has. That's pretty good. He can transition easily into carry version of Tiny. He's probably just looking for that sustain in lane, because really he doesn't need any regen because he has a Treant. Treant Protected can give Tiny all the regen that Tiny wants, and also the mana boots will give him all the mana that he needs between the bottle charges and all. So meanwhile, we got a little bit of engagement. Tiny threw out the avalanche, but it missed the Puck. Puck threw the silence on top of Tiny. Tiny has no, well, he doesn't have it. His cooldown, his stuff isn't off cooldown just yet. He needs 3 more seconds of chasing before he's able to do an avalanche toss. And there's Nature Prophet coming around the corner. He was just barely out of range. If only he had boots, he'd be able to catch up. Meanwhile, Necrolight's taking a little bit of damage on his tower. His tower is also taking some damage from that siege creep. And Necrolight never had support, so this is a tri-lane all along. So Treant is just roaming, I'm assuming, or maybe it's just also a full tri-lane. Not really sure how valuable a tri-lane is against a soul person. Meanwhile, we have a Tiny coming in jungle. He finds himself a Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet will be able to sprout and TP if he really needs to, but he's trying to save his mana. There's a sprout on top of Tiny, so Tiny won't be able to do anything. One more auto attack, he would have been dead. Oh my gosh, Tiny doing so much damage. And meanwhile, Tiny's Treants are shooing him away, also scouting out for his team. Will Puck be able to cut him off is a big question. She will not be popping that invis. She'll just be walking around the corner, see if she can find herself a Tiny. She finds herself a Tiny, but Tiny is a little, he has a little too much HP, and she doesn't have much of anything to survive. Meanwhile, Windrunner does go down bottom. I missed that completely. But I'm not too surprised. It's a tri-lane down bottom. These guys are looking to get kills. Basically, Treant throws out the leech seed, and then Centaur can run in fast enough to throw out his stun, and anti-mates can do all the damage that they want. That's pretty much free kills on top of the Windrunner. Moving on to the items, because I had not finished looking at them. Soul Ring up on Centaur, so he has good mana regen. He has decent HP regen, good burst mana regen. Good burst mana if he needs it. Also, he's starting to build himself a hood, or possibly, no, sorry, he's starting to build himself tranquil boots. Do not know if those are on the way. No, those are not on the way. But he does have the first 2 pieces of it. He just needs that ring of protection. Yeah, ring of protection for that. Moving on to Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage looks like he's built himself a, okay, he has himself a Vanguard. Cool. I was about to say, I called it right, guys. I called it right. Anti-Mage built himself a Vanguard so he can be tanking, so he can stay in lane for a little bit longer. Treant throwing out the heal on top of him, and there's a lot of damage being thrown on top of. Whoa, that was a cool sound. Anyway, Necrolight in a lot of trouble. Necrolight does go down, but so does Tiny. And so does Tiny, but Undying just. Undying able to survive. That's what I'm saying. Undying survivability is actually quite ridiculous. Basically, he can throw out this. He can throw out the decay on top of you, steal all your HP, and whoa, so much. What just happened? Somebody died.
Radiant structures are fortified.
So Centaur killed Windrunner, and Windrunner killed Centaur. Meanwhile, the top tower is being sieged, and I'm not really too sure where to be looking at. Joe Ranger is disconnected. The question is, will they be pausing for? I do not think so. Treant trying to do what he can to keep this tower alive for a little bit longer, delay the push. I don't think they will be delayed enough. 2 TPs coming in. Nature's Prophet will be able to get out. Tiny throws out the stun, so he won't be able to do anything. Nature's Prophet's in a lot of trouble. Tiny's in there with them. Beautiful, beautiful position on Tiny. And now Necrolight's going to go chase his Puck. He breaks the tether, but he is fine. He is fine. Puck is able to get away with her life. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got Anti-Mage. She's getting a lot of farm. He has a Vanguard up, so he can stay in lane for quite a long time and take a lot of harassment from this Windrunner. She can harass him all she wants. He'll just heal her right back up. Meanwhile, Windrunner's trying to build herself what looks to be Tranquil Boots, or possibly the beginnings of a Force Staff, or she could transition to both. We got a TP coming down from bottom from Undying. Undying did decide to build how I would did decide to skill Undying the way that I would skill my Undying back when I used to play him a lot. Basically, max Tombstone first, and then worry about your ulti. Your ulti's not really all that useful until team fights start breaking out. Beautiful shackle by Windrunner. Oh my gosh, so much lag, but still beautiful shackle. Everybody's caught under the Tombstone, and Centaur goes down to essentially the Undying alone. And also the beautiful shackle by Windrunner, of course. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage's coming around the corner. He does have his ulti up. He used it on Windrunner, but it did not do enough damage. Windrunner is using her Wind Run. Anti-Mage doesn't have enough mana for his blink. He needs to make sure he has enough mana for that. 40 more mana. He will have that. Tombstone's about to go down. Tombstone does go down before it does any damage. And there's a heal coming in from Treant. On top of that, Anti-Mage. So as far as how engagements go, that definitely went in favor of the Radiant, as you can see, or in favor of the Dire. Basically, the beautiful shackle coming from Windrunner is able to capitalize on the fact that Undying threw the Tombstone down. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet has a lot of damage done to him. He's building himself what looks to be orchids. Could be a butterfly. I don't know. Weird things happen in random pubs. But for the most part, it's probably orchids. Meanwhile, Necro's coming around the corner. He's trying to go for his Windrunner. If he can do enough damage, that's the damage being done. And he gets the kill on top of the Windrunner. And that guys is in fact an upgrade on the sound effects of Necrolite's ulti, which I really approve. Meanwhile, Tiny has himself a haste stream. He's trying to chase his Joe range. Joe range is a little bit too fast, but he has a haste stream, so he doesn't care. He needs one more spell and he can kill it. But she's doing too much damage. There's a toss, it misses, and I think he will be going down. Oh god, oh god. Nature's Prophet's coming in for the support. Will he be able to throw it? Oh man, that one last auto attack. That one last auto attack, so deadly. Oh man, and Tiny's not going down without any kill to his name, so that was a very sad death, to be honest. Very humorous as well. Meanwhile, Undying and Windrunner are protecting his top tower. Undying does have the Tombstone up, so he can't throw it out if he really needs to protect those towers. Coming around the backside, we see Necrolite. Necrolite knows that Puck now has vision of him because he did get hit with that ability. Actually, no, never mind. I thought Puck was on the Radiant side for some reason. Sorry about that, folks. Items, as far as the rest of the items go, Anti-Mage, Vanguard, he's still building his big item. Shadow Blade coming up on Joe range and a little bit of engagement going on back and forth top. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet is really trying to build himself that Orchid so he can pretty much kill Tiny pretty fast. Tiny with no spells is a dead Tiny, especially when he's not in his carry form yet. He has to evolve there first. There's an ulti from Centaur. Centaur is going for an engagement. Puck, whoa guys, Puck goes in. She throws out a beautiful Dream Coil. Anti-Mage breaks the Dream Coil. There's a stun coming in from the tree and he's stopping everybody down. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage needs to get out of here while he can. He's going to be blinking around the corner soon. There you go. He blinks around the corner. Now Treant will be going down. Meanwhile, did I miss anything? No, I did not miss anything. Nothing really happened on the backside of that. Puck with a beautiful engagement. Beautiful ulti coming from Centaur. Actually, no, Centaur's on the wrong side. Never mind. And then, oh my gosh, a power shot was killed the Anti-Mage. So Anti-Mage is not really efficient at juking. He goes down to a power shot from the Windrunner. So Windrunner finally getting some revenge on that. Whew, this tea is great. Anyway, Centaur is going to come around the corner. He's going to try to catch his Puck. Puck is going to silence him. Beautiful shackle coming from the Windrunner. They could potentially go in for kills, but no, Treant has his heal up on the Centaur, so Centaur can't really, it's not really taking much damage just yet, and he also has some decent regen. Meanwhile, we got somebody coming around the back. Necrolite's coming around the backside. He does have his ulti up. He will be using it on top of the Windrunner to make sure she doesn't go anywhere. Nature's Prophet did fake the TP, but he didn't. He decided not to, and there's more lag on my part. Meanwhile, I see a TP coming from Nature's Prophet somewhere. I hear it. Oh gosh, come on, computer, you can do it. You can do it, internet. And nobody dies. Okay, cool. This tea is great, guys. Oh man, I think it's like vanilla flavor or something. But anyways, oh gosh, so Anti-Mage's going for that Mantis Assault first before he starts building that up. Before he starts building Battle Fury. I'm not complaining. Battle Fury doesn't really help. Battle Fury is more so a farming item, and so is Vanguard in my personal opinion. So you don't really need both. I mean, oh my gosh, so many TPs coming in from the Dire. These guys really want to kill his Tiny. Tiny's in a little bit of trouble. This Dream Coil drop out Puck it also hits the Centaur. Centaur can't really run away. Tiny goes down pretty fast, and there goes Centaur. The TP response for the Dire was on point. These guys really didn't want them to get away. Meanwhile, Necrolite's getting hit with the slows from that 7% slow coming from that zombie, and Nature's Prophet is going to TP around the corner. He does have a Sprout. Sprout will be thrown out. Sprout is thrown out. Everybody has vision, and Necrolite will be going down. He does have Dagon level 1, but it's not enough to do any damage. Meanwhile, top tower is getting pushed down by the Anti-Mage, so that Dire TP response was ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen more TPs in one spot. That's such a perfect timing. Meanwhile, down bottom we got engaged. We got a shackle on top of Treant. Treant is going to be going down. There's the ulti from Undying to make sure he does enough. Make sure they both do enough damage to him. that plague aura able to help out with all the damage. Meanwhile, Antimate is going to continue knocking down his tower. Nature's Prophet does deny it before Antimate is able to kill it, and Antimate is going to go toe to toe with Nature's Prophet. He tries to blow him up. Antimate is able to get the kill. There's an ulti from Centaur to help him out. Meanwhile, Puck's around the corner waiting to see if she can go catch Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage will be able to blink out now. He sees trouble. He sees trouble. There you go. He blinks out, and he is fine. Meanwhile, moving on down to the bottom side. We see Necrolite. He's just protecting his tower. Not really much of anything going on down here. As far as how items are progressing, Blink Dagger up on Tiny like we saw earlier when so much TP response came in and killed him. Meanwhile, Centaur's trying to go toe to toe with this Puck, and Puck just Eternal Jaunts and goes, or phase shifts, and she goes away. Eternal Jaunt is the name of her. Yeah. After Illusionary Orb, you get Eternal Jaunt. Okay. Oh, just a random fact about me, guys. I do not drink coffee. So tea is the way to go for me. I love tea. That was just a random fact. But anyway, Centaur's just hanging up here. He's trying to kill this Puck, but Puck is a little bit too dodgy for his likings. And there's a Silent Storm by her. She's taunting the crap out of him. I know he's mad. He really just wants to get a kill on her, call it a day. I mean, while Tiny does have that Blink Dagger, like I stated earlier, he still doesn't have any regen. But once again, as I stated a little bit earlier, oh man, hold on, Antimate's finally coming up to kill the Puck. Puck was playing a little bit too low, I guess, and he was able to get the auto attacks off on top of her, probably with the help of a Centaur stun. I'm not really too sure. But anyway, Tiny doesn't really have any regen. Like I said, he kind of doesn't really need it because it's a treant, but that's kind of playing down the ability of living armor. Pretty much forcing treant to constantly put it on Tiny. So that way he can't really focus on anybody else. Meanwhile, we got a siege coming down the bottom. There will be a tombstone. This team fight will be going down. Necrolite's coming around the corner. He throws a Dagon on top of Undying. He's trying to do enough damage. Enough damage is done. He does go down. Meanwhile, the tombstone zombies are coming around the backside. They will be able to help out and slow and kill stuff. And there's ulti for Centaur Warm Runner to engage this fight. And there's some more lag on my part. But no, beautiful ulti from Puck is catching everybody. But nobody. Did anybody go down? I don't know. Too much lag on my part. Draw Ranger does go down. I see Puck is also able to dodge the Anti-Mage for a little bit, but not enough. So much damage coming in from the Tiny and Necrolite combination. Meanwhile, this bottom tower will be getting sieged. Anti-Mage is getting to that point to where he's starting to become uncontrollable by the looks of it. Not so much Anti-Mage, but just the team fight potential on the side of the Radiant. They're actually taking advantage of it. If you think about it, between Tiny, Centaur, Warrunner, and Treant. Actually pretty much everybody except for Anti-Mage has extremely good team fight potential. So Centaur with his ulti, Treant with his ulti, and who is it? Necrolite with his death pulse. They can keep the team fight going for as long as they want. Meanwhile, Undying comes in. He finally comes in. He throws out Tombstone. Everybody's running away. These guys are in full retreat. Undying trying to do as much damage as he can to Centaur so he can get at least somebody. Joe Range is around the corner. Her Shadow Blade is not up. And this team, these guys are going to be smartly running away. Jordan is finally able to catch somebody, but Centaur gets turned invisible. There's a stun thrown by Centaur on top of the Nature's Prophet. There's ulti from Treant, and oh my gosh, this guy's getting caught off guard again. And there goes Treant. There goes Nature's Prophet. There goes Nature's Prophet. There goes Draw Ranger. And there's a blink forward from Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage really wants to go in on this kill. He wants to go in for these guys. I don't think he'll be able to get it. Undying will have his tombstone in another 21 seconds. And Windrunner, if she can light another really good shackle, she can help her team get away. But these team fights are definitely going in the favor of the Radiant. Like I said, so much team fight potential on the side of Radiant. If you look at the Dire side, as far as the Dire go, they have shackles. Yeah, cool. They have Nature's Prophet ulti. That's for pushing lanes, really. And they have Undying, which is really the only solid team fight that they really have next to Puck. So they have two team fight focused people versus the Centaur Warrunner versus the Anti-Mage, versus the Centaur Warrunner versus the Tiny versus the Treant and versus the Necrolite. And to be honest, if this game goes on for about 40 minutes, 40 to 50 minutes, I think Joe Ranger will eventually lose to a Tiny. Alright, now meanwhile we got Puck. She's taking a lot of damage. The Dagon was used on her. She's trying to run away. Centaur ulti's used and she is slowed. She can't go anywhere. She threw out the ulti and she beautiful shackle coming from Windrunner, and that's Undying with the ulti trying to keep everybody there. Joe Ranger's trying to do all the damage that she can, but she has not been having all the farm that she's wanted. You see her permanently keeping her treads on strength so she can stay alive. And there's that Centaur Warrunner finally going down. Somebody's going down. This is good for these guys. I think there's an ulti on a creep from the Necrolite. Or maybe it was, I don't know. I don't really know. Nature's probably finally able to get that sprout that he wanted. They're able to get the kill on top of Treant. I think I just heard Puck say how sad, but she was dead. I don't understand. Anyway, moving on to the top lane, we see Rumor trying to push back this lane. A nice juicy creep wave sitting there for her to farm up. She is building that mechanism, and I need to take a look at the items once again.
Radiant's bottom tower
like I was saying earlier, Tiny can easily transition to that carry role, and if the game goes on long enough, and by the way that things are going, minus that last team fight, Tiny will become a harder carry than Drone Ranger, in my personal opinion. Especially considering how this game's going. Drone Ranger doesn't really have much of anything as far as gold goes. Tiny is a little bit above her. If we take a look at the net worth, I'm pretty sure that'll tell the same exact story as well. The net worth shows that Tiny is way up here. Drone Ranger's right under him by 2,000 gold. So it's not that much gold in favor of either side, but still, with Tiny in the lead, Tiny's getting the more gold that Tiny has, the closer he is to his Aghanim Scepter. Meanwhile, Tiny's gonna come around the corner. He's gonna wait for the Puck to do her phase shift. He goes for the damage. Nature's Prophet has his orchids up. He's gonna go on the Tiny. He silences the Tiny. Tiny's gonna be taking a lot of damage. He will be going down. Centaur ulti thrown out. Trian's able to catch on somebody. Did he use his ulti? He did use his ulti so he can stay alive. And he turns himself invisible. There is the thing. The trees are getting killed, so they can try to at least get rid of the trees so he can't run away. But no, he smartly stays in the trees. Why not? Meanwhile, Centaur Wormrunner's around the corner. What are you doing here? Go home, Centaur. You're drunk. Now Trian's in a little bit of trouble. It is only a level 1 Nature's Guides, which means it only lasts 15 seconds. That's basically the duration of. It lasts 15 seconds of the cooldown is 15 seconds. No. It lasts 15 seconds of the cooldown is 10 seconds. So never mind. Let's take back what I was about to say. I was gonna say that the cooldown's the same exact time as the time that it ends. But anyway, we got Nekolai getting silenced. Nekolai's not able to use anything. Nature's Prophet able to get that quick kill on top of him. Meanwhile, Drone Ranger's coming around the corner, finally doing some damage to somebody, and she's able to get a double kill. So she's getting more gold, putting her into her pocket. She is building herself a lot of healing cells, which I, as you guys know, do not agree with at all. I would much prefer to see at least, a ring of regen or something. Build a Lincoln Sphere, Jesus. Something that's more sustainable than just healing cells. Otherwise, you're not doing much of anything. Lifesteal. Build a Helmet of Dominator. That's usually what a Drone Ranger or a carry like a Drone Ranger would build for that type of sustainability.
Radiant's middle tower.
Because she does so much damage.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Look at that. That's 148 plus 65. And that's partly 30 plus 30 from the Shadow Blade. So if you take a 30 from the Shadow Blade and keep her build exactly the same way it is, she basically hits for. She still almost hits for 200. Oh gosh, whoa! Her mana's gone. Where'd she go? George is coming around the corner, doing a lot of damage to Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage will be able to get away. Tiny comes in, beautiful Sprout coming in, beautiful ulti coming in from the tree to keep everybody still. They're able to get the kill on top of the Drone Ranger before she's able to kill their Anti-Mage. But I don't think Anti-Mage is going down to regardless in that fight. Meanwhile, Murmur is coming around the corner. She gets the shackle on top of Tiny. Tiny tosses the Centaur. Beautiful toss by Tiny, and they're able to get the kill on top of the Windrunner.
Die young.
I honestly thought that shackle latched, and I thought Tiny was disabled, but. I thought Tiny was disabled, but apparently he wasn't. So he was still able to toss that Centaur and get on top of the Windrunner. Now Tiny is starting to build towards the Aghanim Scepter, so we will be seeing Tiny transition to that carry Tiny. Like I was saying earlier, he only has a bottle and those mana boots for that sustainability. And he's also getting the Treant Heal whenever he needs it, whenever he demands it. He will have that so he can stay alive. But he is still transitioning into that carry Tiny, because everybody knows carry Tiny's OP. Oh my god, it's Tiny with the Manta Styles, Tiny with a... Wait, hold on, was it Manta Style Sanji Yasha? No, you don't build Sanji Yasha. Manta Style, AC, Aghanim Scepter, something. Desolator? I don't know. I really don't know what a carry Tiny will build outside of a Manta Style and a AC, to be honest. Or an Aghanim Scepter, of course. Because you can't be a carry Tiny without an Aghanim Scepter. You're not carry Tiny until you get Aghanim Scepter. Meanwhile, Jordan finds himself a tree, and she will be able to silence him. He will be taking a lot of damage. He will be going down. He goes down to the Jordan. What is Jordan going to be buying? She's trying to build herself a BKB by the looks of it.
Tomorrow.
And I'm almost out of tea. I'm so sad. And I'm out of tea, guys. I'm so sad. But anyway, Puck is going to blink forward. She catches the Centaur inside of the ulti. It's not really doing all that much as they really want it. He's still a little bit. Has a little bit too much HP for the Lycan, so they're going to go ahead and take his tower. possibly go for racks, is just send the creeps out the racks. They can fight this team fight, but I don't think it'll be a favorable team fight in my personal opinion. Anti-Mage is here. He does have the Mantis style. There was so much silence. His ulti coming from Undying. It's also the Tombstone coming out through him, and a lot of damage being done to the side of Dire. The Radiant is just dishing it out, but they're fighting on the Tombstone. The longer they fight on this Tombstone without dealing with the Tombstone itself, the worse things will be going. But it doesn't matter. Dire getting no, never mind. Fights are going back and forth. Nation Prophet's still alive. I thought he died already. There we go. He finally dies. Joe Ranger also goes down. One more auto attack. There we go. The last auto attack coming on top of her, and she does go down. More auto attacks he didn't throw on top of Windrunner. She goes down, and that was almost a team wipe. Everybody except for Puck is getting caught, and Anti-Mage will be chasing this Puck. His blink does come up a little bit faster than Puck, so he will be able to get that kill. If only he had a silence. I don't think I've ever seen an Anti-Mage build Orchids, but if we did, that would be pretty awesome. Anyway, Puck's going to go ahead and use her ability so she can try to run away. She does have a sheep stick. Nature Prophet has a sheep stick. He's going to go toe for toe, toe to toe with the Anti-Mage, but the Treant coming in with a beautiful support, keeping the Anti-Mage alive. Otherwise, Nature Prophet would have definitely got that kill on top of the Anti-Mage. He did have the right one picked out, but it was just a matter of him actually able to do enough damage fast enough. And Treant saying no, you shall not kill. His ulti will be up in another 20 seconds. If a team fight, I think a team fight will be breaking out relatively soon. There's a lot of damage being done on top of Necrolite. His Puck is about to go down again. Puck did buy back. She will be going down to the Tiny. Tiny has his Aghanim Scepter. He is transitioned to that carry. Tiny, Blink Dagger, Aghanim Scepter, OP. There's an ulti coming from Centaur, keeping him slowed. And Undying can't really do much of anything. Tiny gets shackled to a tree, and a lot of damage being done to that Tombstone. Tombstone finally does go down. Anti-Mage's getting attacked by a Drill Ranger, and Drill Ranger's getting attacked by the Tiny. So much damage being done to her. Meanwhile, so the Radiant are really in control of all this. Like I said, guys, my fan. Sorry, that's my fan. Like I said earlier, Tiny will probably, especially considering the way this game's going, Tiny will probably carry harder than Drill Ranger if the Anti-Mage wasn't a big enough problem. But now that Tiny's finally getting his farm, he finally has the Aghanim Scepter. He's gonna be destroying creep waves. Look at that, 2 hits for a creep wave. That was ridiculous. And also, don't forget, there's still an Anti-Mage on the side of the Radiant as well. So what that basically means is that Jordan just has her work cut out for her. Nature's Prophet is going to also have to transition to that carry role, which he is really trying to do. He's trying his hardest. He has the Orchids. He has that Sheep Stick. He also has a Hand of Minus, so he can keep his farm up. But if he keeps getting picked off like that, that will not be good. Well, not picked off. If he just keeps dying, that will not be good at all. Necronomicon coming up on Tree, and also Butterfly coming up on Anti-Mage. He'll have that up. He has that evasion. He has that quarterstaff. How close is he to it? Right now he's at 2,200 gold, so he is fairly close to it. He's only 1,100 gold away from that, and then he'll be happy with all the damage that he'll be doing. But for now, he'll just settle with the evasion as opposed to just going straight for that. Eagle Song. Meanwhile, Nature's Prophet might find himself in a little bit of trouble. He's gonna go ahead and blink around the corner. He throws the silence on top of Treant. Treant can't go away. He does have his Necro book. He can't throw it if he really wants to, but he gets turned into a chicken and he gets picked off. Beautiful pick off from the Dire. This is what they needed. They're gonna go ahead and push this mid tower. They can potentially fight this. They can potentially fight a team fight here, especially since Treant's down. I don't think Treant has buyback. No, Treant does not have buyback. Treant out of this team fight will be detrimental to the team fight potential of the Radiant. Now we got engagement coming on. We got a Shackle, beautiful Shackle on top of Tiny. Tiny will be going down a little bit faster than he probably wants to. And there you go. He does go down. He buys back instantly because he wants to get back in this team fight. There's so much damage. I don't really know what's going to be going on. Necrolite's getting damaged by the Undying. Necrolite throws out the ulti on top of the Undying, so Undying can't really run away. So Undying can't chase me over, but it's not enough. Meanwhile, Anti-Mage's coming around the corner. He gets picked off. Jeez, that was a team wipe. And Anti-Mage buys back. This middle racks will be going down. I think Dire are going to go ahead and push to win. They definitely can if they really want to. Undying's Tombstone's up in another 30 seconds, which is not soon enough. But it doesn't matter. Nature's Prophet's around the corner. He's doing enough damage, and he will be able to push out his tower. Anti-Mage's trying to do what he can to push everything back, but it's not enough. He gets shackled to one of his illusions, and Puck goes into silence, and they're trying to seal the deal. I think they might be able to get this tree, and it's finally alive. He's able to use his ulti, and he's able to save at least something. A little bit of damage being done back and forth. Jorans are finally doing some damage to him. There's a lot of damage being done to Treant. Anti-Mage's finally able to pick out the Puck on the backside. He gets turned into a piggy. He's going to go in and go for the kill because he knows that if he dies, or if he does not go all in, then his tower will be getting pushed in, and that's exactly what will be happening. We got TP coming in from the Centaur. He wants to get back to his front line, and he gets silenced up by Nature's Prophet. He also gets sprouted up. So he's going to be taking a lot of damage. And there's the creeps coming around the corner. Centaur trying to do what he can. He clears out the creep wave with one foul swoop, but it will not be enough. I do not think it will be enough. His team the main person on his team, which is basically Treant and Tiny, they need to be up for these guys to defend. Anti-Mage, to be honest, Anti-Mage is not really all that relevant. Yes, Anti-Mage does do the damage. Anti-Mage does keep everybody down low on mana and just dealing all the damage that he can. Tiny is really the big story. They need Tiny to be alive, and they also need Treant to be alive. Without Tiny, most of their AoE damage is gone, and without Treant alive, their big ulti, their big teamfight ulti is gone as well. So that's basically putting everything in favor of the Dire. Basically how it works out is if Puck jumps in and silences everybody, and then the rest of her team comes around the side and Jordan just follows up with a silence, Treant can use that ulti to disengage the fight if he really needs to. He can also use that ulti to initiate the fight if he gets in close enough, if he's able to get in to it close enough. So they really need him alive, specifically Treant and Tiny.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Because, well, man, I've pretty much just spent the whole time explaining it. Like I said, Anti-Mage is really a side variable. Anti-Mage is a luxury in my personal opinion. He will be doing a whole bunch of damage, yes, and he will be doing a whole bunch of much needed damage. He will be taking away some focus from Tiny, but Tiny is really the big person in the story. And I hear Roshan getting done. Roshan is shotgun up to a tree. Rumor is able to get a beautiful shot on top of him, and oh my gosh, look at that piggy. That is a giant pig. That was a huge pig, guys. You saw it here on Cul Blu Dota. But anyway, Wimmer is going to go ahead and tank it up because she can. A lot of damage being done. Drone Ranger doing a whole bunch of damage. She's doing 170 something plus blah. Meanwhile, Nation Prophet picks up the Aegis because he feels that he's the most important person on the team, and I definitely do agree. Drone Ranger is not quite at that point yet. Nation Prophet is a little bit more important at this point. Meanwhile, Puck's getting Dagon to death. She gets hit with Dagon, but she's good. She goes ahead and pops that bottle. And the bottom tower is being pushed by the Dire. The Dire want to go ahead and push the win. They're going to go ahead and try to push all they can. Meanwhile, Puck's getting caught out by everything. She gets hit with the stun. She gets hit with the Necrolite ulti, so she stays out. Now the Radiant are going to return to see if they can defend this. And I'm getting some serious lag. Come on, game. Don't lag out on me like you did last time. Anyway, Necronomicon is activated, so vision is being done. Extra damage coming to everybody. Meanwhile, Jormans has her BKB. She's finally able to use it. She uses it up, so she's able to dodge the ulti from Anti-Mage. So Anti-Mage taking so much damage. I don't really know what's going on. I see a pipe. A pipe's being used. There's a tombstone thrown out by Undying. And Anti-Mage is still alive. The Aegis was popped on top of the Nature Prophet, so Nature Prophet did go down relatively fast. Meanwhile, what's going on in the corner? Anti-Mage is still alive. I thought he'd be dead by now, but no, there we go. He does not go down. He blinks away. He's a little bit too elusive. Undying is taking a lot of damage. He's not dead yet. That shows how tanky he is. And a triple kill coming to the side of Nature Prophet. Nature Prophet is able to get Tree, and he's able to get who did he kill? I can't really see who he killed, but anyway, he might be able to kill his Anti-Mage as well. Yes, he will be able to kill Anti-Mage. Anti-Mage does go down. Gemma True Sight dropped, and Ultra kill on top of the Nature's Prophet. No Rampage though, so I'm sad. But anyway, that will pretty much be this side, this Rax, and they can rotate to that mid tower, kill that last tower. The last tower is already dead, so they can go ahead and push the win. They can push for the Ancient and call it a day. That was a little bit of scrappy of a team fight. I honestly thought Radiant might have came out on top on that fight, but the Aegis popped on top of Nature's Prophet definitely helped out. As opposed to Joe Ranger, because like I said, Joe Ranger's not really doing as much damage as you would expect to see a Joe Ranger do. Nature's Prophet is really the source of the damage. Look at that, 215 plus 30 damage. That is ridiculous amounts of damage, people. Versus Joe Ranger's 136 plus 57. Even though Nature's Prophet is technically benefiting from Joe Ranger's aura. Actually, no, not right now. Meanwhile, we got Tiny coming in on top of the Nature's Prophet. We got the tombstone thrown out by him dying. He's trying to make sure his teammate doesn't die, but it doesn't matter. There's this overgrowth thrown on top of everybody. Everybody's getting stunned up. Also thrown out by Centaur, but the towers. But this Ancient's still getting sieged. Will they be able to push this back? I don't think so. Necronomicon book doing a little bit of damage, but it's not enough. The creeps are all gone, so the backdoor protection is on. A little bit of damage is still being done back and forth. Undying does finally go down, and there we go. The creeps are gone. The backdoor protection is on. I hear BKB from Joe Ranger. Joe Ranger uses BKB, and there's Radiance. Wait, whoa. There's a courier coming in. Courier trying to be like a boss and pick up everything, but the courier goes down for free. That's a little bit of miss micro on their part. Meanwhile, what is going on? Radiant are gonna try to push this back, but I really don't see much hope in them actually pushing it back. I'm very glad to see them still fighting though. They have lost everything except for the top tower, and they need to defend this. Tiny needs to be alive, and that Treant needs to be alive as well. His ulti's back up in, oh my gosh, what's the cooldown? 70 seconds? That's ridiculous. So pretty much, it's almost guaranteed that a team fight will happen every 60 seconds when you get to that late game point. So 70 seconds is not too shabby for a cooldown. Meanwhile, Necrolite getting silenced, but it doesn't matter. He just daggons Joe Ranger to death. And he's able to get that free kill. There's the sprout thrown, or there's the living armor thrown on top of Necrolite from that tree. Meanwhile, Mask and Man is up on Tiny, so Tiny's looking to do more damage. He really needs to get that Yasha up, so that way he'll be actually doing some more damage on top of that. Actually, I need to read details on top of Tiny's ulti. Let's see. All right, Tiny's ulti allows Tiny to a creeper tree, increase his attack range, damage versus buildings, and grant cleave attack, improves toss damage. So let's see. Oh man, Radiant's Ancient on attack. Nature's probably going for the back door. Will he be able to get it? He will be able to get it. He's doing so much damage. The Necro now coming in. And that was actually pretty hilarious. That was a pretty funny way to win the game. So as you can see, backdooring is always an option. Backdooring does hurt, and it can lose, or you can't lose the game because of it. Nature's Prophet is notorious for that. Oh my gosh, I want one of those. That's mythical. Is that a Phantom Lancer item, or is that Juggernaut? That's Juggernaut. But anyway, my name is Cul Blu. I suppose you guys random podcast number 25. I hope you guys really enjoyed it, and I am going to continue recording. I'm going to record. What was I going to say? I'm going to go ahead and record that match I was telling you guys about. Go ahead and post it as a replay and post these both at the same time. I have a little bit of time, just enough time to cast a game. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you guys think of the video, and any and all criticism are welcome, but please keep them constructive because destructive doesn't solve much of anything. Also, Tuskar is finally out, and I'm super stoked to see that, but I need to go play a game with him and see how bad I am with them, because I'm usually terrible with the new people. I know I'm terrible with Medusa, and I'm also terrible with Troll Warlord. But anyway, all that aside, I hope you guys have fun, and that was this game. So big shout out to all the players, and big shout out to Nature's Prophet with that back door. And I'll see you guys whenever.